I have 4 sort of tips for the mental side of things, because I think that all this other stuff, I mean, everything can go wrong, especially when we do races that are like 10 hours, like Ironman. A lot of things do go wrong. I mean, I heard someone once told me that a good day at Ironman is a day where you have 2 minor catastrophes. So this stuff takes care of itself if you have your head right. You know, things can get in your way, but if you have your head right and you're set on finishing and set on keeping a positive attitude, I think that you're fine. So my 4 race day tips for you are really about like mindset and attitude. So these are some things that I think about when I'm racing any distance, and I'm hoping that will help you guys too. So my first thing that I just want everyone to remember when you're out there is why you are out there. And I'm assuming that it's because on some level this is fun, right? Now, fun isn't like we're having a party fun necessarily. It can be, but maybe it's the challenge is fun, right? I mean, that's on some level entertaining and fulfilling for you. So I know it must be fun. This must be motivation for everyone, because I do it as my job, and there are a lot of things I could be doing and making more money than this, but at the end of the day, I do it because I love it and it is enjoyable on some level. So while you're out there, if at any point you start hating life, you're having a challenge, remind yourself why you're doing it, right? You paid money to do this race. And I know this race is we're doing it for a great cause, but other races, people are spending lots and lots of money just to enter. So you've paid to participate in this. And I want you, while you're out there, to ask yourself, have I accomplished this goal, right? Am I having fun? If you're not having fun yet, because don't get me wrong, I've had plenty of races where I found myself out there and I asked myself this question, and the answer is no, I haven't had fun yet. So then you ask yourself, well, what am I going to do to change that, right? For me, it usually means one thing I do is make friends with the person next to me. I love meeting people on the race course, and that doesn't just help you, it usually helps them. Now, sometimes you'll know, sometimes the person does not feel like chatting, and they might ignore you, or they might give you a one-word answer, in which case, that's cool, you can find another friend. But still, even still, like, your encouragement still might have helped them, they just might not have energy to talk, and that's fine. But I find that giving energy to other people, you get energy back, and often if you look around, you'll probably notice that the people around you might be struggling even more than you are, and they might really need that energy. I mean, I can't tell you how many times other people have helped get me through my races, and hopefully vice versa. So that's my number 1 suggestion. Number 2 is fake it till you make it, okay? This is my favorite one. I raced the Ironman in Tempe last weekend, and I did a lot of this. That means even though I'm not at my best, not having my best race, and in fact, if I really, really thought about it, I could have even been a little embarrassed with how I looked out there. But that, if I was really thinking about those things, it's going to make those 26 miles seem a lot longer and a lot more painful. So my favorite strategy is to just put a smile on your dial, as my coach would say, and act like I'm having a blast. And then, you know, this means with waving at my friends on the sidelines or making jokes with them or people in the race, whatever it is, act like I'm having the time of my life. And it's amazing how quickly you realize that you are having time of your life and you aren't even faking it anymore. So that's my other recommendation for you. And okay, my next tip is to take one discipline at a time. When you start this race and you're swimming, that's what you're doing. Swimming 400 meters, period, end of story, okay? So I'm sure you've all done a little bit of swimming in the pool, workouts, or whatever it is. And just think about, okay, I'm in my swim workout right now. We're doing a 400 hard. I'm racing the person next to me, whatever I'm doing. But it's just a 400 swim. That's all you need to think about. Because it's really not going to do you any good to think about the bike or the run, because you're not doing that right then. You're swimming, okay? And In fact, all that thinking about those other two things is going to do is make you feel tired and like anxious and whatever. Mostly it's going to make you feel more tired than you are because you're worrying about it and you're thinking, oh, this is such a long day, I got to do other things after this. No, you're swimming 400 meters, period, end of story. Okay? Same thing on the bike and on the run. And once you get to the run, obviously that's your last thing, but I like to take that, one step at a time and at most 1 mile at a time. So you're thinking about when you're getting your next glass of water or whatever it is. But it's just, we break the race up into little pieces. I mean, like I said, for me, doing an Ironman race, which is 9 or 10 hours, as soon as I cross the finish line, I cannot wrap my head around what I just did. I mean, and the day before the race, I can't wrap my head around going for 10 hours. Absolutely not. It's just incomprehensible to me, and I've done it 26 times. Seriously. But when I'm out there, because I break it up into these little chunks, before I know it, I'm at that finish line, and somehow I've gotten there, and that's how, really. So, but I use this strategy no matter what the distance race is, and so I think it's a fantastic way to get through, especially your first one on Sunday. And I think you'll find, this brings me to my third recommendation, which is I think you'll find that if you do that, you minimize those low points in the race, those points where you're thinking, how can I possibly finish this? When you're really just taking one discipline at a time, those thoughts occur less frequently, but they will occur. And if they didn't occur, this wouldn't be such a cool thing to do. It would be easy and everyone would be doing it, so why would we even bother, right? It's those moments when you're really forced to push through that self-doubt or that physical pain that make this worthwhile, right? So don't get upset when they come, but rather be appreciative because you're like, right, I'm getting this experience that I came for. I'm not proving anything to myself if I don't go through these moments. But my suggestion for getting through them, I think the most effective way to get through these tough times most quickly is really, when it comes, you need to remember that if the woman next to you is flying past you at that time, clearly she's not having a low moment, but she'll probably be having one in 5 minutes. It's not just you. Honestly, it happens to everyone, even the people who win the races. And I think I can tell you that I train with plenty of people who have won world championships and won some very, very big triathlons. And in doing so, had serious bathroom problems, for example, these kind of things, and go on to win the race. So my point is, everyone is going through it. And so you just need to, remember, don't get down on yourself. Remember that everyone's going to face these points in the race. And instead of letting it drag you down deeper, you think about, okay, right, I don't feel very good right now, but what do I need to be doing? Instead of thinking about how tough this is or how tired I am, okay, I'm biking. Now, what do I need to be thinking about while I'm biking? Well, what have your friends or your coach or anyone told you about cycling? Technically, are you thinking about making sure your arms are relaxed or making sure you're in your aero bars or how fast are your legs spinning? Whatever it is that you need to be thinking about technically at that moment, focus in on that and get your rhythm back. Soon enough, you'll probably be feeling better as long as you don't let those thoughts drag you down. And then my final recommendation, my final tip, and it's not really a tip, it's more of an order, is I'll be there on Sunday. So, and I'm taking stock of all these faces here, and you're all accountable now. My fourth rule is that there are 2 reasons, and 2 reasons only. By the way, I'm quoting one of my favorite triathletes of all time, Scott Tinley, who won the Hawaii Ironman a couple times. This is his quote. This is his idea. I'm just copying it. But there are 2 reasons, and 2 reasons only, to not finish a race. And one is a broken right femur. The second, any ideas? Precisely. See, we're all set. Everyone knows the rules. So, I have taken advantage of that exception on this occasion when I broke my hip, but I've done that, so no one else needs to take that exception. I know everyone's going to be finishing with their legs intact on Sunday, so everyone's crossing the finish line. And I will be there, and I won't let anyone not cross the finish line. So those are my tips here for you guys, and I just want to wish you all a fantastic day and have so much fun. I am so excited for you and very just thrilled to be a part of it. So.